final part. So sound off. I'm going to let you kind of start with yours. I'm really excited about mine, but I went first last time. So the
Nice.
floor is yours.
All right. Well, I think this kind of actually ties in a little bit with what we've been talking about, just um, how hard it is to make it. I think that there's such a heavy pressure on these kids, especially so early, that you have to become something, or you have to reach certain milestones and accolades and achievements to be worthy. And
Right.
ultimately, it's just kind of the run your own race thing, that we've mentioned several times. Understanding the odds. Again, like my last sound off, don't want to sound cliche or corny, but the odds are just so low. And ultimately, even playing in college is such a rarity. There are more players playing right now than there are scholarships. That's just
That's
a
a fact.
fact. So I mean, that's not even the but understanding oneself, understanding your limitations. If you're a 5'5" center, your likelihood of being in the NBA is just low. So um, just kind of
It's
being self.
zero.
Yeah,
He can't say that because of his role, but it's zero.
yeah,
It
it
is
is.
zero.
But I'm maybe in sixth grade, we'll say. So,
Sure.
but no, ultimately it's just so hard to make it, and understanding the process too for those that are high level players. That's so key. I think you find that the players that really make it at any level, especially the highest level, are the ones that have the work ethic that separate themselves. Obviously,
Absolutely.
the NBA is littered with talented dudes who don't work. But it's the guys who are at the highest level of success um, treated as such. So they move accordingly, and they kind of um, both in terms of diet, their body, and how they develop their game. So I think that all that kind of goes into just knowing the odds and the
Right.
process and everything that goes into it. So that would be my sound off.
It's funny that that was yours because mine is like it makes me think of like the good cop, bad cop type of deal. Yours, I think, was about being very realistic. So I'm reading a book right now, written by Kevin Eastman. For those of you who don't know who that is, it's a long time coach in the basketball space, was an assistant coach on the 2008 Boston Celtics, who won an NBA title, has been a collegiate head coach, has been a collegiate assistant coach, and in his book why the best are the best. He has a whole introductory section on the value of the word try. Just try. Like if you're nervous about doing something, try. And so the reason that I think that that's funny, obviously, because of what you just said, is there is this level of realism. But what I'm assuming Jeff is also not saying as a member of his in this space is like don't give up on what your dream is, but be realistic about one, what it is, and two, how hard you're working. If you're not working hard enough for it, then there's really no purpose. But back to my point about try. It made me think a lot about this podcast. It made me think a lot about different things and, having new expectations and new experiences. Within just using this podcast as an example, right? There's a level of vulnerability that exists because you're putting yourself out there and what you say is what you say. We can't go back and edit stuff well. The only edits that we've really made are when my internet cut off randomly. Outside of that, it's not been a ton. So for me, the value in it is like whether it's you as a player, whether it's, a new profession, it's a class that you're struggling with, whatever the case may be. I think my sound off would just be on just try. There's value in showing up every day and doing the work. It's impossible to do that if you're not trying to be your best at it. So you will fail, you will struggle, you will have, certain things that don't go your way. But the value of just the word try, I think, is very real. And for all people who are listeners, whether it be a player, whether it be a coach, whatever the case may be, just try. That would be my message for the day.
Nice.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the second episode of Buckets and Banter. Um, we appreciate you guys more than you know. We hope that you like this episode. And, in the near future, just so you guys are aware, I'm sure that we'll have potentially some guests to hear some new perspectives on. I know that that's something that Jeff and I have discussed. But, we don't know yet. It may be episode 3, it may be episode 15. We have no clue what the future will hold, but we're definitely going to keep showing up and keep enjoying.
Last thing, we also will be dropping new rankings at the end of the month. So just a little heads up for people that care about that.
New rankings for,
Phenom Hoops.
oh, very nice. That will be, no, that's going to be really excellent. And I will have some things to discuss in that regard. 100%. I can already tell. Thank you guys so much for your support, and we hope that you listen.